In the heart of the Ashanti lands, where the forest whispers secrets and the rivers sing ancient songs, lived a young fisherman named Kofi. His village, nestled by the great Pra River, thrived on its bounty. Kofi wasn't just a fisherman, he was a river-born soul. He knew its currents like the lines on his own hands, its moods like the beat of his own heart. From the elders, he heard tales of Yemoja, the river goddess. They spoke of her with reverence and a touch of fear. She was the giver of life, the source of the fish that fed them, but her heart was as deep and mysterious as the waters she commanded. It was said no mortal had ever seen her and lived to tell the tale without consequence. One evening, as the sun bled orange and purple across the sky, Kofi cast his net, his movements a graceful dance he'd practiced since childhood. The river was unusually calm, like glass reflecting the heavens. Then he heard it, a song, so ethereal and beautiful it seemed to weave itself into the very fabric of the twilight. He pulled his canoe towards the sound, his heart thumping a strange, new rhythm. There, seated on a smooth, moss-covered rock, was a woman. Her skin glowed with the soft light of the moon. Her hair was a cascade of dark, flowing locks adorned with cowrie shells and water lilies, and her eyes held the depth of the entire river. Kofi was mesmerized, his breath caught in his throat. He had seen beautiful women in his village, but this was different. This was perfection sculpted from moonlight and river mist. He knew, with a certainty that chilled and thrilled him, that he was looking at Yemoja, the goddess of the Pra. Fear should have sent him paddling back to the safety of his village. The elders' warnings echoed in his mind, but his heart, foolish and brave, refused to listen. He simply watched, entranced, as she sang her lonely song to the rising moon. When her eyes finally met his, he didn't see a fearsome deity. He saw a profound sadness, a loneliness that mirrored his own. He found his voice, a mere whisper against the river's gentle lapping. "Your song," he said. "It's the most beautiful thing I have ever heard." A flicker of surprise crossed her face, replaced by a soft, curious smile. "And you," she replied, her voice like the gentle flow of water over stones, "are the first mortal who has not fled at the sight of me." This was the beginning. Every evening, Kofi would return to that spot. He would bring her stories of his village, of the boisterous marketplace, the laughter of children, the rhythm of the drums during festivals. He described the world of mortals, a world of fleeting moments, of joy and sorrow, of life and death. In return, Yemoja shared the secrets of the deep. She told him of the world beneath the surface, of ancient river spirits, of the silent dance of the fish, of the timeless rhythm of the water. She spoke of her immortal existence, a long, unending song where every note was beautiful but unchanging. Through his eyes, she experienced the warmth of the sun-baked earth, the taste of roasted plantain, the feeling of a community. Their connection deepened with each shared sunset. Kofi was no longer just a fisherman, and she was no longer just a goddess. They were two souls from different worlds, finding a common shore in each other's company. He fell in love, completely and irrevocably, not with a powerful deity, but with the being who listened to his stories with wide-eyed wonder. One night, under a sky studded with 1,000,000 stars, Kofi confessed his love. He told her his heart belonged to the river, but now it belonged to her. Yemoja listened, her luminous eyes filled with a storm of emotions. She, too, had fallen for this mortal man, for his warmth, his courage, his fragile, beautiful life. "To love me is a dangerous path, Kofi," she warned, her voice heavy with sorrow. "I am the river. I am eternal. You are a flame that burns bright but brief. Our worlds were never meant to merge." But Kofi's love was as stubborn as the roots of the ancient baobab tree. He didn't care about the consequences. He only knew he couldn't imagine a life without her. Seeing the devotion in his eyes, Yemoja made a choice. For the first time in her endless existence, she chose love over law, a mortal heart over immortal solitude. She couldn't leave the river, for she was the river, but she could bring him into her world. She offered him a gift, a single, iridescent pearl. "As long as you hold this," she explained, "you can breathe beneath the water. You can be with me in my kingdom." It was a gift of unimaginable magic, a bridge between their two realities. Without hesitation, Kofi accepted. His life on land seemed a pale imitation of the vibrancy he felt when he was with her. He told his village he was going on a long journey, a voyage down the river to lands unknown. They held a farewell feast, sad to see him go, but proud of his adventurous spirit. Only the village elder, a wise woman with eyes that saw more than most, looked at him with knowing sadness. She placed a hand on his shoulder and whispered, "The river gives, but it also takes. Be sure of what you are willing to lose." That night, Kofi met Yamoja at their rock. Holding the pearl tight in his hand, he took a deep breath and followed her into the cool, dark water. The world transformed. The surface above became a shimmering ceiling of silver, and below him lay a kingdom of breathtaking beauty. There were gardens of swaying reeds, caves lined with glowing crystals, and creatures of light and color he had never dreamed of. He lived with her in this underwater paradise. By day, they explored the hidden depths of her realm. By night, they would sit in underwater grottos, watching the moon from below, their fingers intertwined. Kofi was happy. He had his love, and it felt like a dream from which he never wanted to wake. But the world of mortals has a strong pull. Days turned into what felt like weeks, and weeks into months. Kofi started to miss the smell of wood smoke, the taste of his mother's fufu, the sound of laughter that wasn't filtered through water. He missed the feeling of the sun on his skin and the solid earth beneath his feet. He saw the faces of his friends and family in his dreams. He yearned for the simple, shared moments of his old life. The eternal, unchanging beauty of the River Kingdom started to feel less like a paradise and more like a beautiful, silent cage. His heart, once so full, now ached with a homesickness that water could not quench. Yamoja saw the change in him. She saw the longing in his eyes when he stared up at the shimmering surface. Her immortal heart, which had just learned the joy of love, was now learning the pain of it. She loved him too much to see him so unhappy. "You miss your world," she said one evening, her voice a soft current of sadness. Kofi couldn't deny it. "I love you more than the sun and the moon," he confessed, tears mingling with the water around him. "But I am a man of the land. My roots are there. I am wilting without them." With a heavy heart, Yamoja knew what she had to do. The laws of nature were absolute. A fish cannot live in the sky, and a bird cannot live in the sea. Their love was a beautiful, impossible dream. She led him back to the surface, to the shore near his village. The pearl's magic faded as he stepped onto the land. The sun was rising, and as its first rays touched Kofi's face, he felt a shock. He looked at his hands. They were no longer the strong, youthful hands of a fisherman. They were wrinkled and frail. He touched his face and felt the deep lines of age. He looked at his reflection in the water and saw an old man staring back. What has happened?" he stammered, his voice raspy. Yamoja looked at him, tears like raindrops on the river's surface. "Time flows differently in my kingdom, my love," she whispered. "What felt like months to you were decades on land. Your entire life has passed." Kofi fell to his knees, the weight of his lost life crashing down on him. His family, his friends, everyone he had ever known, was gone. The village he saw in the distance was familiar, yet strange. He was a ghost in his own home, a stranger to his own time. He had chosen love, and in doing so, he had lost everything else. Yamoja could only watch, her heart breaking for him, a helpless goddess bound by the rules of her own existence. Kofi lived out the rest of his short, remaining days as a quiet old man by the river, a living legend whispered among the new generation. They said he was a man who had been touched by the river goddess, a man who had seen the world below. He never spoke of his time with her, but every evening, he would sit by the water's edge, watching the sunset, his eyes filled with a love and a sorrow as deep as the river itself. And sometimes, just sometimes, the villagers would hear a song on the water, a melody of heartbreaking beauty, a goddess's eternal lament for the mortal man she had loved and lost. Their story became a cautionary tale, a reminder that love can be a powerful, beautiful, and sometimes a terribly costly thing. It reminds us that some worlds are not meant to merge, and some hearts are not meant to beat in the same rhythm of time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more tales from the heart of myth and legend. See you next time.